Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you want to know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thursday.
Happy Fins-tastic Friday on this Black Friday. The Miami Dolphins will be playing. We ate too much yesterday, Steve and I. Steve, how are you out there in Houston, Texas? Is everything nice and dandy out there in Houston? And did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I did. Had a real nice Thanksgiving with family and everything. Yeah, I did eat a little too much, and we'll probably continue eating a little too much today as well. But the weather here is it's a little brisk, a little chilly. It's for me, being a South Floridian, ex-South Floridian, or former South Floridian, however you want to put it. It's probably in the 50s, real low 50s this morning, so I'm a little chilly.
Yeah. Good morning, Evan. Guys, you'll be able to catch Evan on the Fins Talk Sports Network just in a little while at 11 a.m. Make sure you catch him over there. And Ray Finkel, a big Fins up to you and the Back It Up Fins podcast. So, Steve, today is a historic day in Miami Dolphin as they play the first ever Black Friday game they participate in. So, are you excited? Does yesterday's games, like the Packers going into the Lions, scare you a little bit, showing that we can't be writing off any team quite yet because no one really predicted that the Packers would go beat the Lions yesterday? And what did they do? Love looked like a first-round quarterback yesterday and went and beat the Lions. So is there any concern going in today's game that you're a little worried that this game could not be as easy as what most of us Dolphin fans are hyping it up to be?
Well, we've been talking about this on the Finch Talk Sports Network, Rob, on Real Talk Finch Talk.
Yep.
The teams are starting to, whether you got a winning record or a losing record, or somewhere in between, the teams are starting to play tough. They're starting to be very, very competitive. They're playing, with a lot of speed, a lot of ferociousness. They're just trying to take down teams, the good teams. The bad teams are trying to take down the good teams. They're trying to make a name for themselves again, trying to get ready for the future. So they're playing tough. They're playing real tough. And I know I said last week that I felt pretty confident that Miami was going to win this game, and I still do. I think Miami's going to win the game. But as you said, Rob, I think it's going to be closer, and it's going to be a tougher matchup than what a lot of people might project. Not only because the Jets have a really good defense, but it's an interconference game. So, the Jets and Miami, they always play each other tough.
Interdivision.
Interdivision. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you give Evan a hello?
Oh, Evan, how you doing, man? I'm sorry that we confused you this morning, Evan. Rob, you wanna make Evan feel a little better? Maybe switch it around for a second, just so he,
Oh yeah, I think he's thinking of our maybe
the real
there.
talk. There you
Yeah,
go. You feel
I think
better,
he means our
Evan?
background maybe because I'm kicked out of my studio because my
Oh
college
yeah,
son is back
yeah. Our
home. But
backgrounds are both different. Yeah, you can
if you're
switch us
used to the
back,
different
Rob. Thanks.
positions, there you go. But it's all
There.
good. It doesn't even matter. But thank you, Evan, for noticing the slight little difference there. That is good stuff, man. I heard that the Jets hired Manny in 5 stars. That's funny. Manny of the Bearded Fanatic. I hope not, though. Let's see, because the Jets, we don't want them to have any help. Hey, Ender, big fins up to you too, Ender. Um, hey, left side. See, he's used to you being better on the left side.
I
On
know.
Dolphins Thursday, I need to pull rank a little bit sometimes, Evan.
I guess he's
I would
saying.
gladly put him over there in a few minutes too,
I
because
guess he's saying
here.
my left side is better. I don't know.
But no, I think he likes you on the left over here, but it's all good.
Yeah.
Yes, Brees Hall is a big concern. I think he's definitely their big concern because yes, they got some receivers, but they're not going to
mhm.
be able to get them the ball, hopefully. So running the ball is they're going to try to beat us with their running game without a doubt. That's how I would plan for them to beat us, that they're going to
Yeah,
try to pound the ball on us. They got that Brees Hall. He can take it to the house anytime he gets it. As we know, he had that crazy little pass he caught last year and just like ran wig-wag through our whole defense.
mhm.
So, we will see on that front. But I think if the Dolphins play a clean football game, avoid the turnovers, don't allow special teams like punt return touchdowns, I don't see the Jets driving down the field on us in a consistent manner. So that's the one strength I have. I do have some concern for the Jets defense. Yes, they didn't look that great against the Bills this past week, but it's also the Jets offense gave the Bills a lot of good setup to get some of those points.
Right.
So our offense, Steve, just needs to avoid the turnover bug that we had against the Raiders. We threw the ball 3 times against the Raiders. You can't do that, especially deep in your own territory,
No.
setting up the Jets for easy points. Make them drive. I don't think Boyle can drive down the field on our team consistently enough to beat us if we just make them play the field position game. This may
Yep.
be a game that maybe Mike McDaniel shouldn't go for it on that 4th and 1 in our own territory. Punt it away, make them drive the length of the field on you. It would be the best recipe for winning this game because I just can't see Boyle leading their team to victory if it becomes like an offensive game where we're all scoring points. Do you agree on that front?
Yeah, I agree. I think I think definitely make them earn their every yard they get, and trust the defense, right? Trust the defense. They've been playing really, really, really good. They've been playing. I would even say Super Bowl caliber type defense at this point. And they continue to trend up. But as you said, Rob, Miami cannot turn the ball over, because I agree with you 100%. If that's the only way I believe that the Jets will score is if you give them that, short field, 10, 20, 30 yards.
Right.
Um, and I think I'm not really concerned. I am I'm not really concerned with Brees Hall. I think we can contain him. I mean, because that's all they have really, other than Garrett Wilson, the other receiver. And I think we're going to shut him down. And I just don't think that they're going to be able to run the ball on us. And if we shut him down running the ball, it's a game over.
Oh, no, for
So
sure. And Evan, I don't know what player on the Dolphins concerns you the most because I would say Jason Sanders, but since you says it's a trick question, unless that's the trick and it really is Jason Sanders and you threw trick question in there as a trick, I would say that's his most worrisome guy. But I don't know, Evan. So you're gonna have to let us in on your Dolphin that worries you the most. How can you? Oh, hey, Dalvin Cook. No,
Dalvin
you're
Cook,
right. Dalvin Cook. I know he's
yeah,
being a little tongue in cheek there, but Dalvin Cook can be a threat
hmm
too. But that's how they're going to have to beat us. They're going to have to beat us on the ground
yeah,
in that way. I just don't see Garrett Wilson being able to. No, we were talking about Brees Hall already. My son walked by and said, "How about Brees Hall?" I said, "Let the wise little 21-year-old know that we already mentioned Brees Hall to top the show, but someone here in comments mentioned Dalvin Cook." So there you go, smarty pants. But anyway, the Dolphins, like I say, there is no reason on this earth that they should lose to the Jets. But I'm sure Lion fans were saying that about Packers coming in yesterday. So the Dolphins' heads better be right. They're coming off their win against the Raiders. That was not as pretty as some of their other wins against teams that they were supposed to win. And, so that was the first game that we were supposed to win that they didn't really just blow out our set opponent and that we fell under the point spread for those gambling lovers out there. We fell under the point spread. This week, the Dolphins again are once again pretty big favorites. I think I think the Jets, speaking of college kids, yes, my son is a silly dude. And that's why I'm out here in the living room because of him. But I think the Jets are. This is college rivalry weekend. As it turns out, it's like NFL rivalry weekend. The Jets and the Dolphins to me, that's our biggest rival ever because I don't like the Jets. Of all the teams in the whole division, the Jets is the one I slightly like less than all the other ones. But and that's just from petty stuff from a kid, growing up, remembering some of the stupid things they did back in the day. But to me, the Jets have nothing to lose today, so that always scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
They're going to go for it. They're going to probably do trick plays. They're going to do anything they can do to beat us. They're not normally a team that blitzes, but they may blitz some. They're going to show us things that we haven't seen because at this point they're playing with we have nothing to lose. They're on a 3-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're entering this first ever Black Friday game up there on their home turf. Their coach is under heat. They got a lot of people, on the hot seat up there, people complaining. I'm worried to that extent to where that could be that could be the little bit of an issue. So, oh yes, actually, too, he needs to be smarter with the football. He is facing Sauce and Reed for the first time. Do not. Yes, agreed on that front. That's why I say avoid that turnover. If it's not there, it's not there. Chuck it away, tuck it, and run for a couple of yards if you can. Come back for another day. Don't play hero ball. I agree for sure on that front. But that's where I think the Dolphins, we're definitely the overall better team. Even our defense is not that far behind their defense and be able to get some stuff done. I think our defense is improving each and every week.
Oh, yeah.
They may not be as ferocious up front as the Jets are, of course, when you got the Williams and all of that up there. But we're pretty good up front, too. So I don't see the Jets driving on us. So that's why I say, very well said, Evan. You stole some of your own thunder for your own show, but still make sure you go watch him on the Fins Talk Sports Network in a little bit. But he won't reveal too many of his talking points. Hopefully, it doesn't come down to Sanders kicking you really have to bring up Sanders, Ray, when Mr. Evans in the house. I have confidence in you, Mr. Sanders. You're going to kick it right through the uprights, and you're going to be fine. I equate it, Steve, and then I'm going to let you talk. I'm stealing, like I'm doing what you do on Real Talk. I'm stealing all the airtime, but I'm gonna.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm gonna give you a minute here. But I think Jason Sanders, he's okay. Does he worry me on those 50 yards and out? Yes, he does. But the good thing is, McDaniel went back to him after he missed that 150-yarder. He hit a shorter field goal, gave him a little confidence. He comes back later and hits a 51-yarder. So maybe just that mental thing, maybe he's right mentally now. He will have a little more confidence. Now, Steve, you got the floor for whatever topic before we talk about the injuries that you want to bring up.
Yeah, I'm not concerned with Sanders. I think McDaniel purposely allowed him to kick that 51-yarder to build his confidence. I really do. And McDaniel's good at with his players and he knows the psychological ins and outs of his players, and I think that's the reason he did it. But before we move on, I just wanted to remind everybody, Rob, about Fanatics. Is an affiliate of the Dolphins Thirsty YouTube channel. If you all want to buy any type of Dolphins gear or any type of NFL or NHL or baseball gear, go to Fanatics. There's an affiliate link at the bottom of the description. Also, Rob, you have the Blackout Coffee as well. You want to tell folks about that?
Yeah, Blackout Coffee is a great tasting coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker myself, but my wife loves it, and my friends that tried it on my behalf, they all love it. They gave it the thumbs up. So Blackout Coffee, use the discount code THIRSTY or use the affiliate link in my description. This week, they even have a better promo code than me if I'm going to be 100% off this because the Thirsty discount gets 20%, but they're running a Black Friday promo code of their own that's on their website. That's 25%. But if you use my link, you still help the channel out a little bit. So thank you, Steve. Yeah, so we're going to talk about the injuries, Steve, in a minute.
Okay.
But
yep.
I still want you to have the floor for a second. So what's your biggest concern for today's game? Like if you had to worry that what could go wrong for the Dolphins, what do you think it could be? Even if it's something we covered already, that's fine.
Yeah, I think Tua is going to have to be at his best, even especially against this defense. It's a top defense, and he's going to have to be at his best. And I think I'm hoping that McDaniel has given him more than just one play to run. I hope he gives him the option of having an audible that something he can go up to the line. If he doesn't see something he likes, he's able to audible out of it. And he needs to. He just, as Evan has pointed out in the chat, he needs to play smart today. He can't make any turnovers. Don't try to play hero ball. Just give what the defense, gives you. Just take what the defense gives you. If he has to throw, short, intermediate passes, or he has to, throw some screens, do it. Because this Jets defense is pretty stingy, and as with Reed and Sauce Gardner back there. So don't try to force anything. Just play smart and take what the defense gives you.
No, I agree. Well said. And speaking of what they give us, injuries are a part of what football gives us. So I'm going to bring up the
Mhm.
injury list there. And the
Yep.
bad news and the biggest news, it looks like A-Chan is not going to be, he's going to be out, which was kind of, that was going to, that's not surprising at all because yesterday
Mhm.
when they elevated Darrington Evans, I'm sure
Right.
Evan will correct me on the name. You knew pretty much it was on the wall that A-Chan was going to be out today. But on their official report as of yesterday, you got Robert. You can see it there, guys. But Robert Jones is doubtful. Then you get a whole bunch of questionables. But I'm saying that A-Chan is now out. Teron Armstead and all these guys will play. I don't know about Chase Claypool because he's been limited. All these guys, and I don't know about most of them. Durham Smythe's another one I would like back, but he's also questionable.
Mhm.
Austin Jackson, he's questionable, but from what the coach McDaniel is saying, he's pretty confident Austin Jackson will be a go. So that is good on that front. So will Lester Cotton be a go, according to the coach. So we do have some of that stuff.
Yeah, and the
So,
New York Jets has some injuries as well, and they're
oh
one of
yeah, I
their
know. I should
one
have
of their
brought them up. They
that's
do.
fine. Yeah, one of
Yeah.
their offensive linemen, Becton, is it? He's hurt. He's out of the game. He was a big part of their O line, and actually their O line hasn't been playing well at all this year.
Oh, I got the Panthers
So
up there by mistake. Sorry.
oh, there you go,
There, there you go.
Jets.
And
There
then
you.
you got Becton. Yes, he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got too many injury. I got to clean up my screen back. So, but yeah, so they got their injuries too. And then I know the other
Yeah.
Carter, the defensive back
Right.
Carter,
Right. Michael
he's not going
Carter.
to play.
Right.
So
He's a big
they
part.
got some banged up stuff going on too, and
Mm-hmm.
that's that's for sure.
Well,
So
it's
I mean,
that
at this
time of
time of
year.
year, yeah, I know it's that time of year. This time of year, you're not going to have any team with no
Yeah.
injuries on there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just got you got some of the players are playing banged up. They know that's part of what they signed up for. They're going to play banged up. They're not going to be 100%. They're
Yep.
going against guys that sometimes aren't going to be going 100%. It is what it is in the NFL. You just got to avoid those season-ending injuries to your star players, and hopefully it all works out. But I'm afraid that we may want. Honestly, I think it's 55-45 chance we win. So that's saying that's just like a 50-50 almost.
Wow.
It's hey, but thank you, Jay, for coming
Yeah.
in here today.
Thanks
And
for
thank you
joining,
very
Jay.
much.
Appreciate it. So let me answer the question that Evan
He's here and Hunt is
presented.
out. So
Yeah,
I
see,
don't
I
know.
think that was the guy I was talking about.
Okay.
Rob, I couldn't
Now, I know
remember who it was.
he's listed as questionable on the thing. I haven't seen the official word, but yeah, that
Right.
is a big loss if you got to have Eichenberg in there instead. Oh, he wanted to know real quick a little bit fun stuff, Steve. What's your thoughts on Hard Knocks? I know your take already, but let Evan know your take on Hard Knocks, the first episode.
Okay. Well, to be quite frank with you, I haven't even watched the first episode yet.
Oh, you haven't?
I
Okay.
haven't yet. I'm going to. I'm going to go back and watch it. Um, and it's on YouTube. A lot of folks are putting it on YouTube, the whole first episode anyway. So I'm going to go back and watch it. But I'll give you my opinion on it, Evan. I think it's a little bit of a distraction, a bit of a distraction. And look, and the reason why I'm not so high on watching it, because that's not the true Dolphins. That's not the true
Right.
organization. That's not the true coaches talking. I mean, yeah, it is the true coaches talking, but it's like a reality show. Everybody acts different on when the lights are shining on them, right? Even on a
Right.
show like this, right? Even the podcasters, things like that, you're not going to see the true, it's an act,
No, no, you're
and
right. Because if I
so
was true, I would say how crazy Evan Posner is, but I would never say that. I would never
exactly.
say that on here.
Yeah,
Never, because I'm a nice guy on here. But
yeah.
anyway, yeah, I agree. That's a take I remember. That's a big take I remember that I said you talked, but I thought you had watched it for some reasons. But
No, I
that
haven't watched it yet, but I'm gonna go back and watch it. Yeah, I'm gonna be a hypocrite. I'm gonna go ahead and watch it. But for me, I think it's a bit of a distraction. I'm gonna take it, with a grain of salt. If everybody believes this is actually how these folks act and things like that, in off camera, then I don't know what to say. But it's not. It's like watching a reality show. That's
Yeah,
that's
no,
my
it is.
that's
It's
my
for
opinion.
sure. So Jay says, how does Miami protect the ball yet be aggressive enough to score? That's the question of the day, Jay. We kind of covered it that they really need to protect the ball. That's 100% sure. But yes, they still got to play aggressive enough to get touchdowns. They can't just play Dave Wannstedt like a punt's not a bad thing. They still got to go out there, get first downs, get touchdowns, field goals if they have to. Just do enough to go out there. But yes, protecting the ball is job one, but job two is being aggressive enough to go and get it. Because I think the only way, as we said, Steve, that the Jets really put up points on us is if we're giving them the ball
Yeah.
in our, we fumble on our own 20-yard line and you set them right up there in the red zone. That could lead to a long day. So if you avoid that, but you're right, Jay, we can't just be so conservative worrying about turning the ball over. But I think we got enough talent on this, even if they're talented defense, we can sustain a few drives and have a couple big plays to score enough points to beat the Jets. I'm not as confident as a lot of people out there in Dolphin Twitter world and YouTube world. I have a little concern for this game just because I don't like playing teams, especially division rivals that have nothing to lose. The Jets absolutely have nothing to lose. They've won too many games to be up there in the top of the draft to get any great quarterback. So there's nothing they even have. The franchise has no reason to do anything other than go out there and ruin the Miami Dolphins' day the day after Thanksgiving and make it a black and blue Friday for the Miami Dolphin fans. So I do have that concern. But the talent on Miami's offense should lead us enough to get some points. We have a lot of skill positions. I do agree with your take. Running the football may be a little bit tough today. We haven't been real consistent in the running game. We don't have Chan out there to make that pop, that one big run to up the averages. So that is tough.
Yeah.
It's good morning, Kings, Dolphins, 89. Always good to see you. Big fins up. Thank you for coming in here today. A good
Yeah.
tight end would help this team so much, and a short safety valve tool. No, I know. I agree. We would love that. Don't you agree, Steve? That because we really don't have. I mean, Durham Smythe is good, but he's good for what he does. He's not going to be that game-changing guy in the receiving aspect.
Yeah, I agree. I think we could use an all around tight end who's capable of blocking, but also a threat as a receiver. Like now, I know we're not going to get a George Kittle or anything like that, but we need someone of that caliber. To be able to block and also to to
Yeah.
to be a threat as a receiver as well.
No, no, because it opens up so many other aspects
It
of the
does.
game,
Yeah, it
and it's
does.
just so great because they easily sneak out a lot of those good guys because they're such a
Hmm.
good blocker. They're like, oh, he's taking it, and the next thing you know, he slips out into the receiving
Yeah.
route and he gets big yards. And yes, Ray Finkel, there is a chance that the Bills beat the Eagles. This is the NFL, so I would say yes, there's a chance. And would I bet on it? No, I would bet on the Eagles winning. But do they have a chance? Of course they do. The Jets beat the Eagles. Go figure that the Jets are the one team keeping the Eagles away from the perfect season. Who knew? It's crazy. But yeah, there's a chance. Bills did look decent against the Jets that we're playing today, but Buffalo was at home in this one. Now they got to go on the road. Is there a chance? Yes, but I don't think it's a great chance, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills win. That's why it's imperative that we don't give them any ground and motivation to catch up to us. Win today, even if they beat the Eagles, guess what? They're not gaining ground on us. So just go out and handle our own business, Steve. But do you think, Steve, that the Bills have any chance to beat the Eagles?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, the Bills have a chance to beat the Eagles. That's why we've been talking, since Miami's been up there at the number one spot in our division, we are in control of our own destiny. And, and it's up to us to blow it.
Yeah. No,
So
I agree. Yes, our tight end. I mean, Smite's okay, but he's definitely not he's not a brutal blocker for sure. Yeah. So, but I agree. So yeah, well, Jay said the same thing. Well, Smythe is an above average blocker, Evan, but he isn't Anthony. There's a name from the past, Anthony
oh
Fonsano.
yeah, I used to like Anthony Fasano. He was a guy that was he was above average blocker and he was a decent receiver. He could be a decent receiver as well.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, he was, he came in that era of football, Dolphin football that wasn't all, unfortunately, that great, but he did his thing in Dolphin. There's been
Mhm.
too many, it's 2 decades of the Dolphins um not being that great, no playoff victories. But he came in that era where it wasn't like, woo, any great moments in Dolphin, but he was a consistent good blocker. And
He
so
was.
he did bring up a good name
Mhm.
there.
He
I
was a good
like that.
safety valve for the quarterback,
No,
he
yeah,
could
he
go out
did
and
that
catch.
too. So he did that too. And the funny thing is, I think he was a Notre Dame guy as well.
And he
So
also played for Kansas City. Didn't he play for Kansas City for like a year or two and then came back to Miami?
yeah, you may be right. I can go look
I
at
think
that. Let me see.
I think
But
he did.
I was just thinking he I don't think let me see. I'm gonna go look at pro football. I just think he's a Notre Dame guy. Maybe Jay will know because I know Smite. Let's see. Okay, Anthony Fasson. I was right about Notre Dame. He played for Dallas, Miami. Yeah, Kansas City for a couple seasons, Tennessee, and came back and closed out his career with
Yeah.
Miami. So
I
you
didn't
were
know he
right.
played. I
Good
forgot
memory
he
on
played for Tennessee, but yeah. I,
good memory, son, man, sir. Good memory.
man, I'm
So I
surprised.
Nah, hey, that's what I say when people say I rattle off all these numbers from the 1980s players, and then they say, "Oh my God, your memory's so good." I go, "Well, ask me what I had lunch a couple of days ago, and I couldn't tell you." But I could tell you who wore like number 80 for the Miami Dolphins back in the day. Well, yeah, Fasano. We looked him. Yeah, he went to Notre Dame. So no, that's what I was asking. I was asking you if Fasano went to Notre Dame like Smite and all these guys. Yeah, there you go. Hey, thank you, Scotty. He's listening. He's driving, but he's listening. So thank you. A big fins up to you, Scotty.
Morning,
Always
Scotty.
welcome to see Scotty. When you get a chance, Scotty, when it's safe, make sure you throw a Dan Marino laser past that thumbs up button for us, like you always do. So I would appreciate it. Same for all you guys. Great in here. Evan, it's important to note that Tua is not a platform thrower, is a bad flat footed. He has not been accurate on screen passes. He needs to step, yes, he does need to step into his throws for sure. Why it's vital. Yes, that's what I did. I did. I admit I had a Philly cheesesteak at Twins Peaks when I took him for it. Yes, Evans, he has a good memory too. He remember was what, and he paid for the dinner, even though it was a day before his birthday. I wanted to pay, but he insisted, and he's like twice my size, so he won that battle. So it is what it is. So it's all good. Oh man, let's see. Evan, the BS screams of in the Mahoney calls reminds me of Adam. Oh, please don't make that connection. Yes, some of those
Adam
screens.
Gase. Oh boy.
I do agree that screens work, but you definitely got to have the blocking to make those screens work. So that's the problem. Well, one of these days, Evan says he owes you a dinner, Steve. So
Oh well.
Yeah,
I
we all have
appreciate
to get
that.
together
Thank you.
next year, fan weekend. Steve, you got to come to South Florida.
Absolutely. I'm going to make a plan to do that for sure. Yep.
Yeah,
No doubt.
that will be good.
No
So,
doubt.
but anyway, so today's game, we get back into that. Like you said, the Jets do miss their big offensive lineman. So our defensive line should be able to eat. We should be able to get pressure on Boyle, who's not
Hmm.
as athletic as Wilson. The one thing that worried me about Wilson, he would
Yes.
scramble around. He could pick up first downs with his legs. Like you pointed out, he was athletic back there. Boyle's not as athletic, so that should be a more of a benefit. Almost wish we were facing Wilson though, because you know what you got. You just don't want Boyle to have that one out of whatever game where it's like fairy tale, and he comes in and goes bananas on us. But we should be able to get to him and get pressure on him, and he shouldn't be able to escape like a Wilson should be able to. Steve.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Is Wilson playing? Yeah, Wilson. Connor Williams is playing.
Yeah, that he is.
Connor
Yeah,
Williams.
and yes, it is time for all ages. It's time to roll. Yes. Hey, thank you for all ages. If you're new to the channel, if you want to nail that thumbs up, it's free. It gives us some recognition that you like what you see today, but only if you earn it. And if we really earn it by the end of the show, you can even tackle the subscribe button for us. Yes, Willems is definitely good news that he's playing.
Yeah, yeah, he's playing.
Because with Robert Hunt not being in, if what you're saying is true, Jay, then that's we just need this line back, that's for sure. Because Robert Hunt is definitely better than Eichenberg. And having Jackson and Robert Hunt on the right side is pretty good. Jackson's very good in pass protection. Not
Yep.
so good, as you said, Steve, in the run blocking aspect.
Right.
But pass blocking, him and Armstead are good. So we should be able to live. I'm not worried about the edge beating us on the Jets. I am worried about their interior defensive line eating our interior offensive line up. That's where I'm a little bit worried on that aspect. Hey, hooked it up, Joe. Big fins up to you. The Jets is real, even against great QBs. We may need our run game to kick in today. Well, I hope so, Joe. But I'm a little bit worried about our run game and
Yeah.
lack of consistency on that front over the past few weeks. Even though Mozart's up there among the leaders and stuff, as far as when you look at the stats, you're like, really? But so I am a little bit worried about the consistency of our running game. Last week we averaged under 4 yards a carry. So, that was a little bit tough. But yeah, we definitely, Steve, you're a little worried about our interior offensive line against their interior defensive line. I think that's where the Jets have the better matchup.
Yeah, yeah, I am a little concerned about that, and I agree with Jay. We need to establish our running game today. And
Yeah,
again, I think a lot of teams have got the blueprint of how Miami plays, and if you can stop our running game and shut down Tyreek, that's the recipe to win. And of course, their offense has to score as well. I personally don't think the Jets have the personnel on offense to beat our defense. But their defense definitely is legit, and they can stop our offense. That's why I think today I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a very close game. I don't think
yep.
Miami's going to come out of here run away with the victory. I think it's going to be a very close game.
No, I do. I agree. I think it's going to be a very close game, with Miami winning from probably under what the final point spread is. It's going to be
Yep.
a closer game than I want. It's
Yep.
just the ingredients are there for a very tough game. You're coming off a Jets team with 3 straight losses up in their land with nothing to lose in the first ever Black Friday game. They're just going to probably be rocking and rolling in there. Not as big. I don't know how many Dolphin fans are going to show up for MetLife takeover this week because it falls on that holiday weekend. So it's going to probably be hard for a lot of Dolphin fans to be able to travel up there to see the game. But it's going to be I think we might be walking into a buzzsaw up there. It may be a very difficult, loud place. It's going to be hard for us to have our motions and all of that stuff. So if you can get out to an early lead, it would be ideal. and get out, get out there with that, get the ball. Hopefully we just win the toss, get the ball, go get a touchdown to start the game, get up 7-0 and start putting doubt in their mind right away. Like, oh, are we even going to be able to score going out there? Let me see. Joe had something to say in here. Getting around the outside of the Jets is tough, and up the middle is also tough against that D. Expecting a closer game than stats and record would indicate. Yes, that's what we're saying, Joe. It's like rivalry weekend in college, as I brought up to start the show. This is like rivalry weekend for the Dolphins. They have nothing to lose and everything to gain by knocking off the Dolphins, giving them confidence. And, a lot of this has to do, just think they lost Aaron Rodgers. If they would have had Aaron Rodgers, who knows what their team would be doing right now. So this is our chance, man. Between the Jets being down, the Bills struggle to start. I'm afraid the Bills may start getting a little bit of mojo back. I may be putting too much into it just because of how they looked against the Jets. We will see how they play against the Eagles this week, and that'll be a telltale sign on how that goes. But Evan said something back here. Big D seems to struggle against former colleagues and other teams. Yes, I know he did against the 49ers. And you're right on that front. And some other people who's seen his that knows him. Hey, let's see. Ignore my comment. Shucks. McD needs to outplay his friends. Yes, I got it, Evan. I'm just going back. I never ignore Evan, the great comments on here. I just saw a whole bunch of other people came in here too. Hill is getting injured easily. No returns for him. Hill is getting injured too easily. Yeah, no, definitely. I don't want that. I don't want that. Jay, Evan answered your question, and that's the main reason I would too, just because of the injury bug. He's always running out to either get IVs, and he injured his hand last game. So, but could I see it happening at some point if it's like a critical part in the game and they really need a big play and try to create some fear in the team? But you never know. But I don't see it happening because he's just too valuable everywhere else to probably risk him being out there. What do you think on that front, Steve? Hit Tyreek
No,
Hill as a punt returner.
I agree. I don't think he should be because number one, look how many times they're targeting him a game, and look how many catches he's getting beat up. They're
Yeah,
using him, they're utilizing him too much, in my opinion, and he's getting beat up. Same with Waddle. Waddle's another one. Good punt returner, good kick returner, I'm sure. With the speed and everything, but he's getting beat up. I mean, it seems like every game or not this last game, but most games he's coming out with either some kind of dink and bang up or something.
yeah,
And so, just utilize those guys in the offense. And I know now Barrios is back, so he'll be
right.
utilized in punt returns and kick returns. So that's a good thing. But
Yeah.
no, don't risk those guys they're small guys or little guys, and they're taking enough, getting banged up enough already as it is.
Well, Michael K's in the house incognito with his little profile picture of El Capitan, but he is in the house. He's saying, boy, who will be the next Purdy. Thank you, Michael K. Always good to have you in there. Tua better not throw into traffic where the 3 or 4 defenders. This could be a reckoning today. No, you're right, Evan. There's a lot of fears on that front. On the front where Tua definitely needs to play a clean game, or this game could get ugly real quick. So, but go back into Jay's point. Yes, Jay, is it a possibility at some point that Hill might be, if we're really desperate, at some point in the season that they try to do something to put Lively up? I wouldn't outrule it, but it's not something I would want to go to on a regular basis because it's just like Steve and Evan said, just way too risky to put basically your franchise player or one of your franchise players out there with that opportunity. Is there any key Jet injuries? Well, I know Carter is out.
Michael Carter,
I
yeah.
brought up, and excuse me, that came out of nowhere. Let's see. Let me get the comment off there real quick. So the Jets on defense, let's see. Oh man, my eyes aren't what they. But yeah, Carter right there on the top. He is out. Um, yeah, I've forgotten, and not that he's a key guy, but Sam, our preseason superhero. I don't even want to
Sam
pronounce his
Aquavin.
name.
Sam
Yeah,
Aquavin.
thank you. I'm sure Evan would correct you. I just didn't want to touch it since Evan's in the room. But so yeah, they don't really have any of their name because Quincy Williams, he was a full participant, so he's going to be playing. So no, not really any key ones outside of Carter being out, sir. Uh, let's see. I agree with you, Ray Finkel. I think Michael K does have a bit of a Dolphins fan in him. I was teasing him about that the other day. It's crazy how much Steve and I agree now. So, hey, Evan and you are agreeing. I don't know what's coming on in the world. What's going on, Steve? You and Evan are agreeing on matters. But with Tua, he has the numbers. He's playing well, but like Evan says, he needs to be able to step up, throw the ball. He's not good flat-footed. He's not good, on some other things. But if you give him time, even his time is less than what other because he gets rid of the ball so quick. But just allow him. That's why I'm a little bit worried about the interior of our offensive line against their interior of the defense because they may crash that and it may be difficult for him to be able to step into some throws. And I'd rather him eat that ball at that point. I don't want him to get killed. But at the same time, you can't throw interceptions in this game. Can't make them have a short field. Make them drive. Like I just don't see Boyle driving the ball 80 yards consistently against us. And now if they can run it against us, then that's then it's tough. I don't know. Steve is and always right about Tua. Look at that. So Evan, but Evan would be right back on the other side of Tua goes out and throw 400 something yards a
I
day
know,
and
I know.
4 touchdown passes and and looks great. Oh man. Ray think it was forced to pick between the Dolphins or die-hard Canadians. Boy, I have to say, give me some ugly shoes. All right, Michael. But Michael K, we know you love us because you keep on coming back to our room. I love it though. Not seeing much. The Jets D line is lethal. They gave up on the Jets offense and consequently quit on Wilson versus Bears. If not, the game would have been at minimum somewhat closer. No, you're right, man. I agree, Jay. But I'm just worrying today that they're going to come up there and really give it their all against us. They're going to be back. They got a new quarterback. They benched Wilson. He's not even their second string from what I'm reading. He's going to be the emergency third string quarterback. So we will not see Zach Wilson unless everyone gets banged up. So that's talk about moving on from him. They've really moved on from him. So that's insane. Yep, time to unwrap Wilson and see what he can do. Wilson Moses or as a primary running back duo starting this season. You're right. We need to see what our Wilson can do on our running back Wilson. We actually have two Wilsons. But hopefully Jeff Wilson can pound the rock, get us some tough yardage, and that's what we need on that aspect. Because the Jets are brutal, man. They're a brutal team. They're very tough. But hopefully Jeff Wilson and Moser. And Moser, good thing about Moser, he can take it to the house at any moment. So you do have that aspect of him. If he can just break that run, Steve, we can. That's
Yeah.
what you need in a game. You need that one big run because, it's tough when you're only averaging like 3 yards a carry, but that one big run can change that whole thing because then it
Yeah.
frees up so many other things, Steve. And that's what we were
Well,
doing earlier in the year.
yeah, it's going to be tough, man, against this Jets defense, at least in my opinion. Mostert, can he run up the middle? Sure, but he needs a big hole. He needs blocking. And he's not going to be pounding any defensive tackles. He may be able to pound a defensive back, but he's not pounding any defensive tackles in up front there. So, if he's going to have a chance of running the ball, he's going to need a nice big hole, or he's going to have to get it around the edges. If they contain the edges and they can't run through the middle, if Mostert can't run through the middle and can't contain the edges, then and to be quite frank, Jeff Wilson's not much bigger than Mostert.
No, he's not.
Mostert's
He's not.
gained some weight this year. You know, he's put on a few pounds. So, but he's not a pound. You know, he's not a pound the run type of runner. You know, and either is Jeff Wilson. Really, they need some holes to get to that second level. You know, they're not like a Derrick Henry where they can get 2 or 3 yards up the middle. You know,
No, I
and
know.
so it's going to be tough, man. If they stop this running game, then what's left? What's left
No.
if they stop the running game? The Jets stop the running game. Tyreek.
Well, yeah, they're going to
Tyreek.
go Tyreek and
They're going to go
Waddle.
to
We're going to have
Tyreek,
another
and they're
heavy
going to
dose of Tyreek and Waddle,
yeah,
well, against really good defensive backs. That's the problem in this game.
yeah.
So that's why I say I don't like the matchup that well. Throwing out the records and the stats, as Joe said, I just don't. I just don't like the matchup because we have not done well against the defenses that are bully defenses that bully you around and play smash mouth.
Yeah.
We have not done well against that style of defense this year. So
Mhm.
that's the only thing that gives me concern. But do I think our team can at least score like 21 points and limit them to like the 13 to the 14 range? Yes, I do. So I think we can do enough on offense to get the W and escape out of New York. I'll give my exact score here in a couple minutes when we close out. I want to give a big fins up to Newfoundland, who just dropped into the room. A big good afternoon to you too, Miss Newfoundland, Sir Newfoundland. You see, I predict the Jets get 3 sacks. I predict if the Jets get 3 sacks on Tua, we lose. Yes, that could be bad. You got to protect Tua for sure.
Well,
As you
here's the
saw,
thing. Here's the thing, Rob. This is my concern. Sure, I don't want Tua to get sacked because of his injury history and all that, right? Of course, that's not what we want. I'm more concerned about him getting flushed out of the pocket and pressured than I am about him getting sacked.
right.
That's what
And
my concern is.
you'd rather him get sacked than throw an interception up in desperation mode or
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
Okay. So no, yeah, you do bring up that good point because that's what we said. That's I think the one thing we can really all agree on today. Avoid the turnovers. Make this Jets team drive on you. We're going to hammer it throughout the show as our basically our script for the show. Do not turn the ball over against this Jets team, or it could become that ugly game. I'm worried. There's many people on Twitter predicting, oh, it should be an easy win. I am going to predict. I mean, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. I will predict that the Dolphins will win. I'll give you the score in a minute, but it's going to be a lot closer than what a lot of fans think. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope the Dolphins just go out there and smash them, and it's like a blowout, and we're all kicking back in the fourth quarter, laughing that we don't have any stress. But to me, it's going to be like another game last week where I was at the game with the Raiders game, and it was like my son and I were like to the whole end until Ramsey got that last interception. Was like, oh my God, we're going to blow this game. We're going to blow. I could see a game kind of like that play out again, and we're going to have to do it. And I hope if Sanders gets his chance, he kicks it through the uprights today because I don't even want to be around Evan if Sanders doesn't come through today. He's going to be going crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh no. We talked about mainly positives, Scotty, but where you just happen to catch the where we're complaining part. There are some concerns that where I do believe is that our defense will basically shut down their offense. That they won't be able to drive the ball on us consistency. They may get 1 or 2 drives because it is the NFL. Teams are going to get a couple of drives on you, but I can see our defense basically putting the clamps down on the Jets offense. So we definitely our defense against their offense is a great matchup for the Dolphins. So that's my big positive. Another positive for the Dolphins, we do got star players on offense that should be able to at least get enough big plays to get points on the Jets, enough to win. So overall, Scotty, it is some positive vibes. I asked Steve if he has any positive vibes. I know you caught us being worried, but I just think this game is the Dolphins going into a buzzsaw. They're going to have it going against a Jets team that has nothing to lose. They're going to pull out all the bags out of their bag, all the tricks out of their bag, and go all out. And I just don't want to get us caught flat-footed going up there on the first ever Black Friday game. So, Steve, give me your reason that you're positive about the Dolphins, so Scotty can have some positive vibes as he's driving around.
Yeah, I mean, we know what this offense is capable of doing, right? That's a positive. We know what our what Tyreek can do. We know what Waddle can do. We know what our Tua is capable of doing. Those are the positives, and another positive is our defense. Our defense is trending up, and I think our defense is definitely is going. Their offense, the Jets' offense, is going to be overwhelmed by our defense.
Yeah,
And I just don't think they're going to get enough steam to score enough points to even get to beat us on to beat us. I just don't
yeah.
think they are. I mean, I think it's going to be a close game, but it's not going to be close where we're concerned that they may come back and beat us. I think we're going to see our defense, putting the pressure on the quarterback. I think we're going to stop. I think we're going to stop the run, and
You think we create some turnovers, get some
I think we
interceptions?
might. Yes, I was just going to say. I think we're going to create some turnovers, and it's going to be a game where it's close, but it's kind of like, well, I know we still have the game in the bag, even though it's a close game,
Right.
because of our defense. I think it's going to be our defense is going to win the game for us today. That's what I think. But
All right. That sounds.
I do believe that our offense will score enough points, to win the game.
Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it, and we're about to wrap up our show here in about the next 5 minutes. So, but the good news is, guys, you got another show you can go watch. I'll tell you that about in a minute. But this Jets team, including the defense, is imploding. Score a couple of quick and to score a couple quick TDs and scores, and they have put this bid. That's what we need. That's the
Exactly.
recipe right there. That's what we
Bingo,
need. Get
right there. That's what we
Yeah,
need.
get
Yep.
out ahead of them, and then they will start to implode, I believe. If you can go out there,
Oh
because
yeah.
in the defense,
Oh yeah.
if you go out there, then yes, the defense is going to say, "Oh my God, we've already given up enough points at this offense." Then it's just they're going to be losing focus. Kind of, I think what happened against Buffalo and the Jets. Once Buffalo started putting some points on the board, the Jets was like, "Oh, we're screwed. Our offense isn't going to do anything against this." So that's the recipe. Scotty, what's your prediction, Scotty? And all you guys, start putting your final score prediction in here. Commanders have fired DC Jack. Well, we got them coming up on the agenda, but we got to worry about the Jets today, but we got them coming up. So thank you, Sir Evan, for coming in the show with that news. So, Joe, I would take that. That's a fins up victory at 20-9. So he has 20-9. Not too far from what I'm going to say. So it's very close to my neighborhood, what I'm thinking. Hey, Eric, big fins up. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving as well, sir. And yes, big Black Friday game today, guys. Very good. Eat those leftovers while we're watching our Dolphins kick butt. That's the plan for the day. Eric, thank you again for coming in here. Eric says very close, 20-6. Oh, Scotty's going very confident. So he's very close to what Hooked Up Joe says. Eric is in the
Mhm.
neighborhood of Hooked Up Joe and myself at 20-6. Scotty is really going big, 31-10, Miami. Love it, Scotty. Love it. Big fins up to you. Be safe on the road out there, sir. Thank you very much. So, Steve, I say it's time for our show. We're going to wrap up here, but I'm going to give my score, and I'm going to let you close by giving your score. I got Miami Dolphins 24, New York Jets 13. 24-13, Miami Dolphins win in a kind of a what we call ugly. I say there's no ugly win in the NFL, as I said after the Raiders game, but it'd just be one of those games that won't be fouled away in the vault as a great all-time performance on our offensive side of the ball. Defenses struggle. Dolphins create some turnovers. Either Ramsey or Xavier Howard or Javon Holland get an interception today. One of those guys comes away with an interception today. So 24-13. Steve, what do you got?
I Jay is pretty close to what I'm going to say. I got Miami winning this game today, 20-13.
Oh, very close. So you got a repeat of last week's performance against the Raiders.
Yeah.
So I would take it. So Jay, if you guys can't see it, he said 19-13 Miami. So we all got Miami. Yes, we're all wearing our Dolphin hats and stuff, but most of us have it very close. Oh, Newfoundland. Sorry, Newfoundland. I did not see you chime in or Raven. Newfoundland says 27-10. And Ray Finkel's very close to him, 24-10. So, and then looking a little bit ahead to the next opponent, Washington's only positive are Sam Howell, a high pick, and a new head coach after this season. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. But we'll worry about that team when we get there. But good points. Guys, thank you so much for dropping in today. And if you're saying, oh, man, I want more Miami Dolphins coverage, guess what? You are in luck. If you go over to the Fins Talk Sports Network, they should be going live. I believe, Evan, if you're in here at 11 a.m., I think it's their time. So is that their time, Steve? Fins Talk Sports Network?
I am not sure. I hope
Yeah, I
Evan's
think
in there.
it's 11. I retweeted it for them. But anyway, 11 a.m. on the Fins Talk Sports Network. They will give you a great Fins up.
12
12
p.m.
p.m. 12 p.m. All right, my bad. Sorry, guys. You got an hour gap before the great
Is that
coverage.
12
Which is probably
p.m.
works
Eastern
out a little
Standard
bit.
Time?
What's that? Yeah, that's Eastern Standard Time.
Right. So if you're
So
on
12
the
p.m.,
West
guys,
Coast or
show
Central
back
Time.
up. Guys, we got 18 of you guys in here. I really appreciate it because Dolphin Thirsty, that's a lot for us because we're just growing each and every day. So I appreciate 18 of you guys coming in here. If you can all nail that boom, 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 thumbs up for me. It's free and it helps the channel grow even faster. So I'm sure, Evan, you're going to save your prediction for your show. I will come in. 12 actually works out a little better for me. I should be able to get my lunch in by then and then be able. I was worried at 11 I may miss their show. So that I should be able to watch. Hey, thank you, Joe. You guys make it the greatest coming in here. You guys are all great team members. Love having you. I would drop more links in the future. You guys are always welcome. And hooked up, Joe. I'll probably see you at noon if you have time over on the Fins Talk Sports Network. They put on a great show over there as well. So, Steve, enjoy some of the. Well, you're actually doing a whole new turkey today. I was going to say enjoy leftovers, but you're actually doing a whole new turkey today. So
Yes,
enjoy the new fresh turkey. I'm going to eat leftover turkey, ham, and all the sides, probably for lunch and dinner. We will see on that front. But I appreciate all you guys. You guys are the best. And Steve, let me get to my closeout video so we don't yell into the video forever, but you're going to go with your patented Go Dolphins. So, all right, Steve, you're ready?
I'm ready. Remember,
All right.
Dolphins number one,
baby. Dolphins number one. Fins up to all of you.
Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show.